What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to the Dark Souls Let's Play. Last episode, I decided to come here to the Grand Archives and we met Seath the Scaleless, our first, or the boss of this area. And with that encounter, we had to die because we were unable to kill him, and we have now spawned at this spawn fire. Just might as well start going right now. We got an enemy right here that we can kill through the fence. It's a one-hit kill. That gives us the archive tower cell key. We'll go ahead and, leave the cell. Got weird blue octopus things coming now. And he's actually attacking me, but usually, yeah, there he goes. He's just running past. They're actually going for the ladder up there, which we actually have to get a key to unlock that door, so I'm not even going to make my way up there yet. So I actually have to go all the way down there, all the way down to the bottom here, past these blue tentacle guys, in order to get the key for that door up the ladder up top. So they do have, this water attack as well as a grab. And there's a lot of them right here, and for some reason he's not swinging. Come on, swing the sword. There we go. And there's the grab attack. I don't remember all four of them reaching you at the same time. It's been a little while since I've played this area. But, luckily I've got the bonfire right here, so I can just get right back into it. And I do, no damage to these lizard dudes, which is not okay. But now that these enemies down here have reset, I think maybe only one or two will reach us at a time, if I'm not mistaken. Or they're not even out there. I guess they're all back in that cell that opened up. As you can see, we've got some of those crystal guys here in the cages. So just gotta make my way down here. Yeah, they're all back in there, which is actually not a bad thing, because that means I don't have to fight them. But what I do have to do is go up this ladder here on the side to get the key in order to escape this tower prison that we're in. And as you can see, we've got guards here, and I have to get that chest. And this is going to be quite difficult because I don't do a lot of damage to these guys, unfortunately. So I think I'm just going to make a run for the chest. And, if I die, hopefully I can get the key. I would like to kill these guys, more souls. But, if I die here, it's not the end of the world because I do have the key already. And, clearly it's a one-sided battle against these guys right now. There we go. I think some of that killed him. It did. Sweet. Got the backstab here. I gotta be careful of the magic one. It gives me a backstab again. There we go. He's not dead, but this might get him. There we go. Take out this magic guy, and I'll make my way up to the door. Backstab again, and he's dead. Come down here. So I could fight my way through these guys, and if I'm not mistaken, Big Hat Logain is usually back there. I have yet to free him from Sen's Fortress, so he's not back there right now. And basically he's just imprisoned in a cell back there again. So if you actually free him from Sen's Fortress, you know, once you come here, he'll be back there, and you can get a key to free him. And then he will become a merchant a little further into the archives here. I'm not too worried about, you know, not progressing his story because, you know, obviously I'm not a mage build. But regardless, I'll still show you guys where the key is at, as well as where he'll end up if you do free him. But like many of the other NPCs that you encounter in this, if you progress their storyline, they eventually end up going hollow and you end up having to fight them. Oh, they got me too, which is going to hurt me a lot more than it hurt them. Back off and heal real quick. And that did not do me any good. And so even if you get that key that I grabbed up there where we fought the other three like lizard men, then you die, these two guys will still respawn. They'll still go up that ladder. And even if you get to the ladder and go up before them, they'll still come up and they'll kind of try and chase you down. So they're two enemies you do kind of have to fight. I guess, if you're fast enough, you could get up the ladder there and open the door with the key and get far enough ahead of them where they wouldn't chase after you. But I would say it's probably easier just to take those two guys out. Go ahead and climb this ladder. There's the Archive Tower giant door key. And we will continue on. So we got one of the crystal guys right here, crystal archer back there, and there's also a sword shield crystal guy to the left of that archer as well. My last Estus flask, so I gotta try and get to next bonfire without dying. That guy right there. Alright. Backstab this guy. Longbow, okay. Like one-on-one, these guys aren't hard, but as I think maybe this last episode, if you start to get swarmed by them, they become a real problem. And these guys right here become a problem as well because they buff. They got these crystal dudes, so they can become problematic. And their magic does quite a bit of damage. I'm actually just going to run past him because I need to get to a bonfire before I die. I'm actually going to use the Elizabeth's mushroom now. And it is a slow heal, but it is a full heal as well. Got this chest back here. Not a decoy. Twinkling Titanite. this back there. If I'm not mistaken, I actually should not have turned this ladder. Or these stairs, not ladder. Gotta come up here. Go for markets on. Ah, freaking arrow in the head, so it stunned me. Kind of. Oh boy. Okay, now I remember what I gotta do now. I didn't need to turn this. I just gotta come up on this side, not the other side. Him. Gotta drop down here. Turn these stairs. And that doorway right there is where you gotta go. You actually do have to come here because otherwise this leads to the boss. Where this leads. We'll hit that lever right there to give ourselves a shortcut, which will be nice. So go ahead and flip this lever. And then there's a bonfire right back here. Go ahead and light that and I'll rest. I'll pop a humanity so I can kindle this bonfire for more Estus flasks. Okay, now I got 10 Estus flasks again from this bonfire. And so, right back through here. I believe it's in here. So once you free Logain, he'll be sitting right about here. He becomes a merchant in this area. We'll come back this way. There is a mimic chest right back here. I'm not entirely sure which one it is. This one right here is a mimic. So actually I want to see if I have one. You can actually use, if you have a Lloyd's Talisman. I don't have any, but basically you can throw a Lloyd's Talisman right next to the Mimic. And the Mimic chest its mouth will actually open up and you can get the item out without having to actually fight the Mimic. But I don't have any Lloyd's Talismans, unfortunately. So I'm going to have to fight this Mimic. The nice thing about, once you kill a Mimic is it's a permadeath, so you don't have to worry about it. I mean, you don't have to fight it in the first place if you don't want to, but, it's not going to respawn after you kill it. So this is the key to free Logain if he's down in that big cell where all those, purple tentacle enemies were at. That's the key to unlock that cell. And then, I could go back down there and unlock the cell, talk to Logain. I don't remember if you have to rest at a bonfire or back out of your game and reload in. And then he'll spawn over here in that little spot that I showed you. But he will end up going over there as a merchant for you. Backstab this guy. And so up ahead is actually going to be a decent spot to farm souls. because we've got the bonfire so close up through here, through this fog wall. Oh, I didn't mean to jump off right there. But basically, you've got a bunch of these crystal guys around this area. You got one right back there. And so if you want to farm souls, this is a decent place to farm souls. You just got to be careful not to take on too many of them at one time. I'm just going to run past them because I don't want to fight them. And we'll make our way down through the crystal cave to Seath the Scaleless. And so if you look for the basically like snowflakes falling, it's like hidden paths or invisible paths that you can take. So anybody that's playing along right now using this as a walkthrough, just go exactly where I go and you'll be perfectly fine getting through this area. We got more moonlight butterflies here. They're not as powerful, I don't believe, as the actual boss moonlight butterfly. But this is where more of them are at. And they have a low chance of dropping special titanite. So I mean, if you want to farm the moonlight butterflies here for the special titanite, you can. But yeah, for this part, if you just look for, if you're online, you'll see all these different messages on the ground. But if you're not online, just look for the falling snowflakes, and they'll take you where you need to go. And then right here, trying to remember. Oh, he came after me. Oh, I did this wrong. So yeah, you can come down here. I'm going to go back up because I think I went on the wrong one. The gold ones as well, if I'm not mistaken, are permadeaths. So if you kill those gold golems, they're permadeaths. Yeah, so don't go across that second bridge right there. Come down this way where the gold one was at originally. And you can drop down right here where this message is at. And then just run straight for this little outcropping crystal piece, right where this message is at. If you aim for this crystal piece right here, once you find this snow sparkle up there, you'll be perfectly fine. So that bright light back there is the crystal that is making Seath invincible. So you have to destroy that. You have to destroy it every time if you die to Seath. You have to destroy that every single time you come down here attempting to fight him. These crabs, you can try and fight them if you want. Sometimes they'll drop purging stones, which can be nice. I always just try and run past them because they'll actually get caught by the fog wall. That one might not. He might have gotten through. But after you encounter Seath right here the first time, the fog wall will be there, and they'll get caught on the fog wall like any other normal enemy. That right there is what's making Seath invincible. So you have to destroy that in order to do damage. Seath as well, like most other bosses, or dragon enemies, not so much bosses, dragon enemies, you can cut off his back tentacle, which is basically his tail, and you can get the Moonlight Greatsword from his tail if you're able to cut it off. Yeah, so he got one made again. I'm hoping Seath will actually kill him. Maybe. This could be problematic. Okay, so that's doing damage to him. But this second right here, once you see him doing this, he's going to start thrashing his tentacles, so you got to be careful of that. Seath also does have a very high resistance to magic. So magic wielders or magic users, you might have trouble. You'll have some trouble dealing a lot of damage to him with magic. He's more weak to physical attacks, and since he is a dragon, he's weak to electric attacks as well if you have an electric imbued weapon. Make my way back down to Seath. I'm hoping to actually kill him in this episode, because you know lately the bosses I've been fighting have taking 2 episodes to kill, and I would really like to not do that anymore. And again, I'm just gonna run past all these crystal golems. You can take your time to fight them all. There are some items in the back that you can get. The crystal golems also have a chance of dropping different types of titanite chunks as well. I believe green titanite. So if anybody's looking for green titanite, this is also a place where you can farm. That. Again, with the invisible floors, just look for the dropping. I call them snowflakes because I don't really know what they're actually supposed to be called. But yeah, just look for the dropping snowflakes, and you'll be good. As you can see, that gold golem is not here, down here anymore, because that was the one that we saw fall. But the one below us is still here. I don't even know what the item is. I've never actually grabbed it. I think I grabbed it maybe once or twice. But I will grab this one to the left. You gotta be careful. If you don't want to fight the moonlight butterflies, just don't get too close to them. Otherwise, they'll like take off and start attacking you. And those that use, melee weapons, it would be a good idea to have a bow or maybe know a little bit of magic in order to, kill the moonlight butterflies if you want to farm them. As you can see, we've got the fog wall here now. But once you get to the fog wall, once you go through it, make sure you get away from the fog wall because they can still hit you through the fog wall. And as you can see, the crystal is back, so I have to destroy it again in order to actually deal damage to him. So if you do hit him before destroying this crystal, like you'll still say that you dealt damage, but he'll heal instantly. So just keep that in mind. You do have to destroy that every single time. I'll try and take out get his tail, for just for purposes of getting the Moonlight Greatsword. But ultimately, I'm not going to use this greatsword because it does require a high amount of intelligence to use effectively. So, if I get it, I get it. If not, it's not the end of the world. Like I said, when he lifts his tentacles in the air, watch out for that thrash that he does right there. Because you can get caught in that, he can kill you so fast you get caught in that thrash. Also, you gotta watch out for those crystals because you can get cursed by those crystals if you stay in them too long. But if you get up here to right to his side, once he's charging up, definitely get away. I didn't get far enough away because he does a almost full arena crystal attack. As you can see, my curse meter, or my curse resistance is not very high. But, electric attacks are definitely the way to go against Seath if you have an electric imbued weapon. Because it'll deal the most damage if you have an enchanted electric weapon. I think I have that electric spear, but I don't have it upgraded, so I'm not going to try and use that on me. Also, you do want to try and keep them in the middle of the floor, because if you get caught back from the corners, those crystals can do a lot. Just some, some tips for you guys. Caught by that again. Oh no, I didn't. Wow. I am getting caught by the curse. These small ones, as you can see, are not doing a whole lot in terms of curse. The bigger crystals are doing. As you can see, he's got quite a bit of range with that area attack. I would honestly say though that once you learn how he attacks, I would say he's one of the easier bosses to fight. It's just, you know, learning his different movesets, which he doesn't have very many of them to begin with. But like once you learn his movesets, he's a really easy boss to fight. There's some of them like Artorias, where like even if he doesn't get close, like Artorias, even if you know his movesets, you know, he can be a tough boss just because of how his movesets are. Seath, once you know how he attacks, he's not that much of a boss, in my opinion. Far enough away. Yeah, it is. Getting that curse build up. Gotta be careful of that. I'm not even gonna try and get the that moonlight bit. But if you can summon other people to help you, getting his tail cut off is pretty easy by yourself. He just turns so much to face you that it gets pretty hard to actually, you know, stay behind him and do enough damage to his tail. Especially when he starts doing this thrash. As you can see, his melee attack with his hand do not have a very wide range. And so for anybody that's going for like archer type style of gameplay, I would say Seath could be kind of troublesome just because of his ranged attack with the crystals. Melee guys should not have hardly any problem fighting Seath. If you just do what I'm doing here, going front tentacle to front tentacle, you know, as you can see, not taking a whole lot of damage, the melee attack's not hitting me. Solid, easy way to take him on. We have defeated Seath the Scaleless. And I am stuck inside of it. There we go. And so we have gotten our first bequeathed Lord Soul Shard, as well as a humanity. And just like every other boss, besides, I believe, Ceaseless Discharge, and I guess the Gargoyles, we have a bonfire that pops up for us. Now, after you defeat Seath, just know that after you defeat Seath, Logan will disappear from that spot where I showed you guys where he would be a merchant, and he will actually appear up in the very top where we fought Seath the first time, where we had to die, we could not do damage to him whatsoever. Logan will appear up there, and he'll be hollowed. So if you go up there, you will have to fight him. But then if you do fight him and kill him, and go back to where he was when he was a merchant, you'll find a chest there with his gear. That you can get his gear that way. Before I end this episode, I'm going to go ahead and level up, and I will do a little more into vitality, and I'll put 1 into strength to improve our weapon attack a little bit. But you know, that concludes our episode. You know, made our way all the way through the Grand Archives down to the Crystal Caves, and we defeated Seath the Scaleless. Thank you guys for joining. If you enjoyed the episode, please consider, you know, hitting that like button and subscribing. But you know, I'll catch you guys in the next one. Peace.